Hello students, welcome to time classes. Today's classes matrices and determinants. Handout code is QAHO 3571711 and 1921. We will be selectively using both the handout in this class. I hope everybody has the correct handout with them. Now I divided this class into various segments. First, we are going to learn different type of matrix. What are different type of matrices? Then addition of matrices. And third, multiplication of matrices. And what are the rules that governs multiplication of matrices? Different type of matrices, addition of matrices and multiplication of matrices will be covered in this class. First of all, what matrix is? A set of mn elements arranged in the form of a rectangular array having m rows and n columns is called a m into n matrix. Read by m into n matrix, where m stand for number of rows and n stand for number of columns. And we denote an element of the matrix as small a ij. I denotes the number of rows which varies from 1 till m, and j denotes number of columns which vary from 1 to n. So it can be it's a rectangular array. A11 is an element representing first row, first column. A12 is an element representing first row, second column, and so on. Suppose A23 is written, first part denotes the row. That means second row, third column. Element in second row, third column. And Amn denotes mth row, nth column intersection, the element which is situated at mth row and nth column. The element Aij lies in the ith row and the jth column. So m stands for rows, number of rows, and n stands for number of columns. And we say it's a m by n matrix. Moving further, type of matrix. Square matrix. If number of rows becomes equal to number of columns, so we say it's a square matrix. Number of rows are equal to number of columns. If they are not equal, it's a rectangular matrix. But when number of rows and columns become equal, we name them as square matrix. And the elements which have the same designation for row and column as A11, first row, first column, A22, second row, second column, A33, third row, third column, and so on till Amn, mth row, nth row, nth column are called diagonal elements. Elements situated on a diagonal, A11, A22, A33 up to Ann. Since it's a square matrix, number of rows and number of columns are equal. We further define the line containing the diagonals element is the principal diagonal of the matrix. So A11, A22, A33 up to Ann are called the elements in the diagonal, and this diagonal is called the principal diagonal. The sum of diagonal elements of A, if we add all the elements which are there in the diagonal, if we add all the elements, the sum of the diagonal elements of A is the trace of A. Matrix is the trace of A. So anybody asking for trace of a matrix A, the number of elements square in the diagonals, we add all of them. That's called the trace of matrix A. Row matrix. A matrix A, m by n, is said to be a row matrix if number of rows become 1. That means if any matrix has only a single row and more than one column or one column, it's called a row matrix. It is a single row. So we can denote this as 1 into n. N denotes the number of column and 1 denotes the row. So any matrix having a single row is called a row matrix. Column matrix, as the name suggests, it has a single column, one column. A matrix which has only one column. So we write this as n into 1, where n denotes the number of rows and 1 denotes the column. So row matrix has a single row, column matrix has a single column. I hope this is clear. The basic definitions. Principal diagonals A11, A22 up to ANN. And sum of the diagonal elements of A is called the trace of A. Matrix, in any matrix, first we denote the number of rows into number of columns. 2 into 3 says there are 2 rows and 3 columns. Moving further, type of matrices. Diagonal matrix. Now diagonal matrix, first condition is it should be a square matrix. A square matrix is said to be a diagonal matrix if all its elements except those in the principal diagonals are 0. Principal diagonal, main diagonal, all the elements which are not in the principal diagonals are by default 0. So conditions are m is equal to n, that is number of rows should be equal to number of columns. A is a square matrix and Aij is equal to 0 if I is not equal to j. Here I denotes the number of rows and j denotes the number of columns. So the non-diagonal elements are zeros. We say it's a diagonal matrix. Precisely everything elements which are 0 are the one which are not on the diagonals. Aij is equal to 0 if I is not equal to j. The non-diagonal elements are zeros. A diagonal matrix of order n with diagonal elements d1, d2 up to dn can be denoted by diagonal, then bracket d1, d2 and all the elements of diagonal are written in that order up to dn. We say it's a n by n matrix, it's a diagonal matrix. So elements are there only in the diagonal. That's called a diagonal matrix. Moving further, scalar matrix. A diagonal matrix whose diagonal elements are all equal is called a scalar matrix. A diagonal matrix whose diagonal elements are all equal is called scalar matrix. M is equal to n is the condition which says it's a square matrix. Aij is equal to 0 if I is not equal to j. It says all the elements which are not in the diagonal are by default 0. Third, Aij is equal to a constant value k if I is equal to j. That means all the diagonals elements are same and equal to some constant k. Now this constant can assume any value but it has to be the same across. So then we say it's a scalar matrix. Scalar matrix is a diagonal matrix with all the elements in diagonals comes out to be the same. They are the same constant. Then moving further, unit or identity matrix. It's a further extension of a scalar matrix. Scalar matrix is an extension of diagonal matrix. Unit or identity matrix is an extension of scalar matrix. So unit or identity is by default a diagonal matrix. All the elements in the diagonals are same and that constant value is equal to 1. A scalar matrix of order n in which each diagonal element is unity, that means k constant value assumed as 1, is called a unit matrix or identity. Matrix of order n is denoted by in. First, m is equal to n. M is equal to n says that number of rows is equal to number of columns. It's a square matrix. Aij is equal to 0 means if I is not equal to j, that is number of rows is not equal to number of columns, then the element is 0. If number of rows is equal to number of column, that is A11, A22, A33, then the element value is 1. So unit or identity matrix are an extension of scalar matrix with a condition that constant value k comes out to be 1. So diagonal matrix first we learn, then we move to scalar matrix where all the elements in diagonal assume the same constant value k, and then unit or identity matrix, a scalar matrix of order n in which each diagonal element is 1. Unity is called a unit matrix or identity matrix of order n and is denoted by in. Conditions, it should be a square matrix, m is equal to n. Aij is equal to 0 if I is not equal to j. That means if row is not equal to column, then element is 0. An element lie only in the diagonal with additional condition that value has to be 1 if I is equal to j. A11 is 1, A22 is 1 and so on. I hope this is clear. Null matrix or zero matrix. Null matrix or zero matrix, as the name suggests, a matrix is a null matrix or zero matrix if all its elements are zero. A matrix is called a null matrix or an identity matrix. Sorry, null matrix or zero matrix if all its elements are zero. I hope this is clear. Now, many times questions have been asked straight away on the basic definitions. For example, let's move to handout questions. We are using handout 3571711 and question number is 1. It says the matrix 3002 is a. It's a square matrix, 2 by 2 matrix. It contains elements only in the diagonal. But these elements are not equal. So it is not a scalar matrix. Unit matrix, identity matrix, they are not same value as 1. So more precisely, one thing can be observed carefully, that elements are there only in the diagonal. So we can safely say that the given matrix is a diagonal matrix. We can safely say the given matrix is a diagonal matrix. That's for sure. So if you look at the choices, scalar matrix, unit matrix, identity matrix is ruled out. You just learn the definitions. But for sure we can say it's a diagonal matrix. Elements are only in the diagonals, and any element except which is not in the diagonal is equal to 0. So choice comes out to be A. Sure. Question second. Straight away definition based question. It's again a definition based question. Which of the following is an identity matrix? Identity matrix has elements only in diagonal. It's a square matrix. All other elements which are not in diagonals are 0, and all the elements in diagonals are 1. Look at the first choice. This is not a identity matrix. Second, it's a diagonal matrix, but element are different, 1 and -1. Third, it is not an identity matrix because in third row, second column, it has element as 1, which is not in the diagonal. If we clearly look at the choice 4, this is the only choice left with. It's a square matrix having elements in diagonal. All elements are same, and that too 1. So it's an identity matrix. So we can say clearly D only is the identity matrix. Rest are not the identity matrix. So option A, option B, option C goes out. Only choice D remains. So we should mark choice as D. These are straight definition based questions. Same handout 1711. Moving further, then it says trace of a matrix. What is trace of a matrix? Let A be a square matrix. The trace of A is defined as the sum of the elements of A lying in the principal diagonal. Principal diagonal, that is main diagonal. Square matrix principal diagonal consists of elements A11, A22, A33 up to ANN. Thus, if Aij, n into n, the trace of A is denoted by A11 plus A22 plus up to ... till ANN. That means we are adding all the diagonal elements to get what is the trace of a matrix. Now let's start with what the trace of a matrix is. We'll try to get this with the examples. We have to just add the diagonal elements. So we are using handout code 1711 3571711, question number 3rd. The trace of a matrix is, it's a square matrix. We have to just add the elements which are there in the principal diagonal. So what are the elements in the principal diagonal? One is given as 1, -1 and 5. So we have to add these 3 elements to get the trace of a matrix. Now trace of a matrix is equal to sum of the principal diagonal elements of a square matrix. And this square matrix, we have principal diagonal element as 1, -1 and 5. So let's add this When we add this 1 minus 1 plus 5, 1 and minus 1 cancels out, plus 5. So remains only 5. If we look at the choices, first option gives us 5. So we can simply say trace of this matrix is 5. It's a straightforward question. So we have to mark choice as choice A. I hope this is clear. This is the easiest question we have. You have to simply add diagonal elements of the given matrix. That's called the trace of a matrix. Let's do one more question on the same logic. Now we are using handout 1921. It says find the trace of this matrix. It's a square matrix. Now trace of the matrix, simply say you have to add the elements in the diagonals. So when you add the elements in the diagonal, what you are getting, trace of a matrix is equal to sum of the principal diagonal elements. Sum of the principal diagonal elements consist of 3, 2, minus 4. In this cases, it's A11, A22 and A33. They are called the principal diagonal elements. So let's add them. So when we add them, 3 plus 2 becomes 5. 5 minus 4 gives me 1. So can I say 1 is called the trace of the matrix? That is sum of the principal diagonal elements. So 3 plus 2 minus 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. 1 is the trace. So among the choices, which choice we can mark? It's choice D. We should mark choice D. That's our answer. Choice D. I hope this is clear to all. It is choice D we marked. Next, moving further to the next segment. Now we are using the handout 1921 and question number is 1. It's a basic. It says find a 2 by 3 matrix. Question says 2 by 3 matrix means number of rows are 2 and number of columns are 3. So option C cannot be our choice. It's a 3 by 2 matrix. So option C straight away goes out. Is not the answer. Our choice has to be among A, B and D. We have to find 2 by 3 matrix. For which A, that is matrix A, he had given to find the elements of the matrix as Aij is 2i plus 3j. I stands for number of rows and j stands for number of column, 2i plus 3j. So it says you have to apply this formula 2i plus 3j to find this matrix. It's a 2 by 3 matrix. Let's start. It says Aij is a 2 by 3 matrix. C cannot be our choice. A11. For A11 element I is 1, j is 1. For 12 element I is 1, j is 2. 13 I is 1, j is 3 and so on. Given Aij is equal to 2i plus 3j. We have to found this. Ai is equal to 2i plus 3j. A11. We substitute I as 1, j as 1 in the formula. It gives me 2 into 1 plus 3 into 1. 2 into 1 is 2 plus 3 into 1 is 3. 2 plus 3 becomes 5. That's A11. A21, I comes out to be 2 and j comes out to be 1. 2 into 2, 4 plus 3 into 1. 4 plus 3, 7. That means A11 is 5 and A21 second row first column is 7. We had only one choice in this parameter. In the examination, if we have done this much of part, our job is done. Because A115 and A217 is only in the option A, choice A. No other option has the same values. So we will not proceed further in the exam. We will stop the question till mark the answer and move forward. But let's check. Just see what other elements are. This is just for understanding. A12. I is 1, j is 2. So 2 into 1 plus 3 into 2. 6 plus 2 becomes 8. First row, second column 8. And A22. I is 2 and j is also 2. So it becomes 2 into 2, 4. Plus 3 into 2, 6. 6 plus 4 becomes 10. That is A second row, second column is 10, which is there in the option A. Moving further, let's try A13. For 13, we will be putting I as 1 and j as 3. So it says 2 into 1 plus 3 into 3. That is 9 plus 2 becomes 11, which is there in the option A. And A23. 2 into 2, 4 plus 3 into 3, 9. That is 13. It's still there in the option A. So option choice A is the only option we have satisfied. So we can mark A, we get the matrix A as 5, 7, 8, 10, 11, 13. If you carefully observe, third column is same in option A and option B. Somebody starting from back will find the same 11 and 13 same in both the options. 5 and 7, 5 and 8, 5 and 11, 5 is there in all the four options. So if anybody want to check in the examination, he can directly check with the second row, first column element, that is 2, 1. So that alone is able to give us the answer. There is no need to solve it to the entire length. But just for understanding, we try to find out the complete matrix. It may possible he may ask something else from this point onward. So we just solve this entire example. I hope this is clear to all. Sure. So which choice we should mark? Choice as choice A. That's our choice. Choice as A. That's choice A. Then we are using handout. This is choice A we mark. Then we are using handout 1711. Now we move to a question 5. 1711, question number 5. It says if A plus B is a matrix 2 by 3 matrix and A minus B is again a 2 by 3 matrix. The question asks us what is the value of matrix A. We have to solve these two information to get the value of matrix A, and the choice then we have to select from the option. Can we safely say that A matrix should be equal to half sum of A plus B matrix plus sum of A minus B matrix? Because when we add A plus B plus A minus B, plus B and minus B cancel out, we are left with only twice of matrix A, which divide by 2 gives us matrix A. Why we are using this approach? Because we have the value of A plus B as well as A minus B, both the values we have. So we have A plus B with us, we have A minus B with us. So A plus B plus A minus B, we add the two matrix and then divide the result to get the matrix A. Now how do we add two matrix? First of all, both the matrix are of the same 2 by 3, 2 rows and 3 columns, 2 rows and 3 columns. So we add the corresponding element in both the matrix. Corresponding element means first row first column of first matrix is added to first row first column of second matrix to get the first row and first column of the resultant matrix. We add the matrix in the with the corresponding elements. Let's add it together. So we had generalized the result that in this case A is half of sum of A plus B plus sum of A minus B. Now first matrix A11 is 4 and second matrix A11 is 6. So 4 plus 6 becomes 10. So we write in the resultant matrix 4 plus 6 as 10. Then first row second column is 1. Second matrix first row second column is minus 1. When you add 1 with minus 1 it becomes 0. First row third column in first matrix is 1. First row third column in second matrix is again 1. When you add these two values, 1 plus 1 becomes 2. So you get the same element position in the resultant matrix. Now we add the second row elements. Minus 2 plus 2 becomes 0. 3 plus 3 becomes 6. And 5 minus 1 becomes 4. But 1 by 2 is there on the outside of the matrix. So what we have done get now, matrix is twice A. When divided by 2, we'll be getting the value of A. Now we have to divide every element of this 2 by 3 matrix to get the value of A. So 10 by 2 becomes 5. 0 by 2 becomes 0. 2 by 2 becomes 1. 0 by 2 is 0. 6 by 2 is 3. 4 by 2 is 2. So our matrix, which is required matrix, that is capital A, is nothing but 5, 0, 1, 0, 3, 2. Now let's look at the choices carefully. 5, 0, 1 and 0, 3, 2. 5, 0, 1, 0, 3, 2 is choice D in the matrix. So what we are getting is matrix as D matrix. So 5, 0, 1, 0, 3, 2 is nothing but choice D. That is matrix A is choice D. So we marked answer as choice D. I hope this is clear. Straight away basic question can be done mentally. Not writing, there is no need to write so much of steps. Can directly be get the answers, get the choice also. For example, if you have simply know that a plus, you have to add these two matrix and divide by 2. Then their first element 4 plus 6, 10. 10 by 2 is 5. 5 is only in the first row, first column, only in a single option. So straight away it can be marked. But chances are that you are not doing any errors. If you are doing errors, then you are never sure of. You have to solve the entire part. That depends upon you. Can be done straight away without using pencil also, or can be done in a single line. So moving to next question. Handout is 1711. Question number 7. In question number 7, there are two matrices are given which are being told as equal matrix. And then the question says you have to find the values of x, y, z and a in the same order. Same order means respectively. So we can equate the two matrices. How can we equate the two matrices? We equate the corresponding element of the matrix. So what we do, we equate 7 with x plus 3, 4y minus 16, that is first row second column of the left hand side matrix, equal to first row second column of the right hand side matrix, which is 4. So we equate the corresponding elements and then try to find out the values of x, y, z and a in the same order. Now first it says 7, we can simply say 7 is equal to x plus 3, 4y minus 16 is equal to 4, z minus 5 is equal to 2 and minus 1 is equal to a plus 2. That's for sure. Now x plus 3 equal to 7, 4y minus 16 equal to 4, z minus 5 is equal to 2 and a plus 2 is equal to minus 1. Choice contain x, y, z, a respectively in the same order. Can you say x is equal to 4, x equal to 4 and y is equal to 4y minus 16 equal to 4 means 4y is equal to 16 plus 4, that is 20. So y is equal to 20 by 4, that comes out to be 5. Z minus 5 is equal to 2. We can safely say z is equal to 5 plus 2. 5 plus 2 means 7. And a plus 2 is equal to minus 1. That says a is equal to minus 3. Now suppose I concentrate only on the first part. That is, I want to find value of x. X equal to 4. So there is only one choice that gives x equal to 4. In the same order it says. Y is equal to 5. That strengthens my assumption that my answer has to be choice C. Because 4 and 5 respectively are there only in the choice C. Moving further, it says z minus 5 equal to 2. Z is equal to 7. A plus 2 equal to minus 1. We can simply say a is equal to minus 3. So these all values matches with one of my choice. That comes out to be choice C. So x equal to 4, y is equal to 5, z equal to 7, a equal to minus 3. All these values are there in the choice C. Now suppose in the question it was not written in the same order. Not in the same order. Then in any order he could have mentioned x, y, z and a. Then it's become mandatory to solve all the 4 choices. Get all the 4 variables. It may possible they may ask. Here in the same order means respectively. But if this may not be the case in some order, then you have to get the all the 4 possible values and then check which options you get getting the all the four possible values same. That's why we are solving it. I hope this is clear. So in this case our answer comes out to be choice C. That's for sure. We just equate the corresponding parts and then get our answers. Then moving to question, it's multiplication of matrices. Now it says let A and B be two matrices. A and B are conformable for multiplication only if number of columns of A is equal to the number of rows of B. That's the first basic criteria to multiply. Suppose A is a m by n matrix and B is n by p matrix. First is m by n matrix, second is n by p matrix. Number of columns of A matrix is n, number of rows of B matrix is n. They are same. So we can multiply and we are getting a final matrix of order m by p. first row and last column m by b. They are conformable for multiplications. That is, only if the number of columns of A is equal to the number of rows of B, then we can say they are conformable for multiplication. Now let's take a question example just to learn this. We are using 1921 handout. If A and B are two matrices of order 3 by 2 and 2 by 3, A number of rows are 3, columns are 2. B number of rows are 2, columns are 3. Now if we carefully observe, that means number of columns of A matrix is equal to number of rows of B matrix, that they are same, 2 2. So A into B are conformable for multiplication, that is AB is defined. Because options are asking AB is defined, BA is not defined, or BA is defined, AB is not defined, or both AB and BA are defined, product, or both AB and BA are not defined. So just using the basic definition what we just learned now, if A and B are two matrices of order 3 by 2 and 2 by 3, the number of columns of A matrix is 2 and number of rows of B matrix is 2. So A and B are conformable for multiplication. So AB is defined. Now take BA. For BA it become 2 by 3 matrix. For A it become 3 by 2 matrix. Number of columns of B's are 3. Number of rows of A's are 3. They are same. So they are also defined. So as AB is defined, so as BA is also defined. So if you carefully look at the choices, it says AB is defined but BA is not defined. This is half correct. B. AB and BA both are defined. This is absolutely correct. So we should straight away go with our choice B. That's answer is the number of columns in A is equal to the number of rows in B. So AB is defined. Again, the number of columns in B, if you are doing BA is 3 is equal to number of rows in A, which is again 3. So BA is also defined. So both are defined. So we simply say AB and BA both are defined. Hence, our choice comes out to be choice B. That's our answer. Choice B is our answer. I hope this is clear. Yes. Now let's multiply. Take an example. We take handout 1921, question 7. It says if A is a matrix given as 2537, it's a 2 by 2 matrix, and B is also a matrix 6849 or 6489 as you wish to say. Then you want to find the value of AB, A multiplied by B. First of all, number of columns of A matrix are 2 and number of rows of B matrix are also 2. So AB and BA, AB is defined for sure. Let's multiply. Now how do we multiply these two matrices? First A matrix take first row and B matrix take first column. Multiply their corresponding elements. That's give the first row, first column element of the resultant matrix. Then first row of A matrix multiply with second column of B matrix, give resultant matrix में first row, second column element. As shown, let's see. It says A is 2357, B is 6489. Now first row of A is 23 and first column is B is 68. So these two will be multiplied together to get the first row, first element of the resultant matrix. AB, 2 multiplied by 6, 2 into 6 becomes 12, plus 3 into 8, 3 into 8 becomes 24. Then first row of A matrix multiplied with corresponding element of second column of B matrix. It gives 2 into 4, that is 8, plus 3 into 9, that is 27. Then second row of A matrix multiplied with first column of B matrix to give A, B ka 2, 1, second row, first column element. 5 into 6 is 30, plus 7 into 8 is 56. And then second row of A matrix with second column of B matrix. 5 into 4, 20, plus 7 into 9, 63. Now you are getting all the 4 elements. Please note this carefully. First row of A multiplied with first column of B, get the first row, first column element of the resultant. Then first row of A multiply with second column of B to get first row second column element of the resultant. Second row of A multiply with first column of B gives second row first column element of resultant matrix. Second row of A multiply with second column of B to get the second row second column resultant matrix element. Now 2 into 6 12, 8 into 3 24, 24 plus 12 is 36. That is first element written. 2 into 4 is 8, 9 into 3 is 27, 27 plus 8 becomes 35. 5 into 6 is 30, 7 into 8 is 56, 56 plus 30 becomes 86. 5 into 4 becomes 20, plus 7 into 9, 63, 63 plus 20 becomes 83. So we get a resultant matrix. That's a basic multiplication we get. That's called matrix AB. Now if we have to check our choices, resultant matrix AB, 36, 35, 86, 83. So which choice we have for this? We have choice C. I hope this is clear to all. In this way we multiply. But only thing we have to check whether our matrix are compatible, comfortable for multiplication or not. That is, number of columns of first matrix should be equal to number of rows of second matrix, then we can multiply. Sure. Now, again few types of matrices. Singular matrix. It says a square matrix A, it should be a square matrix, number of rows should be equal to number of columns, is said to be singular if determinant of A is equal to 0. And non-singular if determinant of A is not equal to 0. It's an important term. Singular if determinant of A is equal to 0. Non-singular if determinant of A is not equal to 0. We say it's a singular matrix or non-singular matrix. We're using this further. So singular if determinant is 0. Non-singular if determinant of the matrix is not equal to 0. Involuntary matrix. A square matrix, its n by n matrix, is said to be an involuntary matrix if A square means A multiplied by A gives identity matrix. A square matrix A is said to be involuntary matrix if A square is equal to I, where I is the identity matrix. It's 1 0 0 1 or 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1, 3 by 3, 2 by 2, depends upon what is the order of A matrix. So involuntary matrix is a matrix which when multiplied by itself generates an identity matrix. Then idempotent matrix, a square matrix, again a condition for square matrix, is said to be an idempotent matrix if when it multiplied by A gives A back. A square is equal to A. These are small definitions. Many times they ask in questions. So singular matrix, determinant A 0, non-singular, determinant not equal to 0. Involuntary matrix, A square is equal to I. A multiplied by A gives identity matrix. Idempotent matrix, A square gives A back. It's idempotent matrix. In all the three cases, basic condition is they have to be a square matrix for default. For sure, square matrix. Moving further. Now using the handout 1711 again, we are using a question 4th. Now just carefully look the choices. It says, first of all, a matrix, small 2 by 2 matrix is given in which second row, first column element is 0 and others are non-zero. Then which of the following is true? A square equal to 0. 0 means null matrix. Let's check. A is a singular matrix. Singular matrix means determinant is equal to 0. But in this case, determinant is not 0. It is -1. So B option ruled out. A is an involuntary matrix or A is an idempotent matrix, or option A remains. A square is equal to null matrix. Let's check. Null matrix or 0 matrix. We multiply A by A itself as we multiplied before. First row, first column. So -1 into -1 becomes 1. Plus 2 into 0 becomes 0. So first element becomes 1. Then first row of A multiplied with second column of B. -1 into 2 becomes -2. Plus 2 into 1 become +2. So -2 plus 2 become 0. So resultant matrix, first row, second column becomes 0. Then second row of A multiplied with first column of second matrix. So 0 into -1 is 0. Plus 1 into 0 is again 0. It becomes 0. Then 0 into 2, that's 0, plus 1 into 1, which is again comes out to be 1. Now this 2 by 2 matrix is identity matrix. It's a diagonal matrix containing all the elements in the principal diagonal as 1. So A square comes out equal to I. A square equal to an identity matrix. So if we just check the definition which we learned, if A square equal to I, which implies capital A is involuntary matrix. So option comes out to be C option. So we straight away marked choice as C. This is the definition we just learned now. I hope this is clear. It's a straight definition based question. Then handout again 1711. Now we come to question number 6. Question number 6 of handout 1611. It says if B 2 by 2 matrix and C again a 2 by 2 matrices are given, then we have to find the matrix A such that 5A minus 2B plus 3C is equal to 0. And he has given 4 choices, out of which one should be there. Now how do we solve this? Can we take 5 on the left hand side, we take remaining on the right hand side. It becomes minus 2B becomes positive, and 3C which is positive on the left side, when it moves to right hand side becomes negative. So can you say 5A is equal to 2B minus 3C? And when we divide by 5, so we get the value of matrix A, which is nothing but 2B minus 3C by 5. So we get a matrix A simply by multiplying the first matrix by 2, second matrix by 3, and then subtracting 3C matrix from 2B matrix which has to be obtained, and then dividing the every element of the resultant matrix by 5. We straight away get the value of A matrix. Let's try this part. Now 2B, multiply matrix B by 2 means you have to multiply every element by 2. So it is minus 2, minus 1 into 2 is minus 2, 2 into 2 is 4, minus 2 into 2 is minus 4, and 5 into 2 is 10. So we get the first matrix. Second, multiply by 3, 3 into 4 is minus 12, 3 into 2 is minus 6, 3 into 8 is that's minus 8, minus 24, 3 into minus 4 is minus 12, 3 into minus 2 is minus 6, 3 into minus 8 is minus 24, and 3 into 0 is 0. Now in this manner, we obtain a matrix which is 2B. We also obtain a matrix which is 3C. Now 3C is to be subtracted from 2B. Now just check the sign. Minus 2, we have to, how do we subtract? We just subtract the corresponding elements. So minus 2 subtract from minus of minus 12. Minus of minus 12 becomes plus 12. So 12 minus 2 becomes 10. 4 minus of minus 6. Minus of minus 6 becomes plus 6. So 4 plus 6 again becomes 10. Minus 4 minus of minus 24 becomes minus 4 plus 24. That is 20. And 10 minus 0 is 10. So what we get in the resultant? We get minus 2 plus 12 is 10. 4 plus 6 is 10, minus 4 plus 24 is 20, and 10 minus 0 is 10. But one element 1 by 5 is outside the matrix. So we have to find the value of A. So you have to divide every element of the matrix by 5 to get the value of A. Now what is 10 by 5? It's 2. And what is 20 by 5? It's 4. So we get a 2 by 2 matrix whose elements are 2, 2, 4 and 2. It's 2, 2, 4 and 2. So if we carefully look at the choices are very close. So first option says 2, 2, only one element is 2 instead of 4, otherwise it's matches. B option is B and D are ruled out because none of our element is negative. But C is the correct choice. It comes out to be 2, 2, 4 and 2. So if we carefully look at the choices, I think answer is C option. So we marked choice as choice C. That's straight away choice C. I hope this is clear. Basic steps we are doing. Examination, there is not necessary to write all the steps. You could just concentrate on few elements only which are distinct, which are different in all. So if we consider in second row first column element, then also we can find the values. But Just to be sure enough, there is no harm in writing the single step. Better if you are getting a correct answers. Moving further, we are using handout code 1921. Question number 3. A 2 by 2 matrix A is given to us 3, 5, 7, 8. B is given to us 4, 2, 7, 3. We have to find a matrix C such that A plus B minus C is equal to I, where I is a 2 by 2 identity matrix. Matrix A is given to us, matrix B is given to us. We have to find the value of matrix C. A plus B minus C is equal to I is a result which is also given. Now let's see. We have to find the value of C. Can we say simply, given that A plus B minus C is equal to I, this also implies matrix C is equal to A matrix plus B matrix minus identity matrix. So in nutshell, what we have to do, we have to add the two matrix, matrix A, matrix B, and then subtract the result from the, then subtract the identity matrix from the resultants. That means you have to add A plus B, then subtract the identity matrix. Now this becomes easier. So we also assume identity matrix is a 2 by 2 matrix, which is given also. Now how do we add? We have to add the corresponding element of the matrix. A11 added to A11 of second matrix, and then from identity matrix subtract A11, which is 1. Let's see. So we have to add 3 plus 4. 3 plus 4 becomes 7. Minus 1 becomes 6. 5 plus 2 becomes 7. Minus 0 becomes 7. 7 plus 7 becomes 14. Minus 0 becomes 14. 8 plus 3 becomes 11. Minus 1 becomes 10. Just see the corresponding element and get the result. It says result as 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 minus 1 is 6. We are adding corresponding element and subtracting the corresponding from the identity matrix. 3 plus 4 is 7. Minus 1 is 6. 5 plus 2 is 7. Minus 0 is 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. Minus 0 is 14. 8 plus 3 is 11. Minus 1 is 10. Now if you carefully look at the choices, you got choices 6, 7, 14, 10, which is nothing but choice C. Choice C is my answer. I hope this is clear. Straight away basic operation we have done. In this operation we have added also and subtracted also. Moving further, then we move to question number 8. If A is a matrix 1 0 0 0 and B is a matrix 0 0 0 1, then which of the following is true? A plus B whole square is equal to A square plus B square. A minus B ka whole square is A square plus B square. It's matrix. These are matrices written there. This is not A plus B ka whole square formula. It's A plus B whole square written in A square plus B square. And this is, we have to check only for these two given matrices. Then BA. BA means multiplication of matrix B by matrix A. You are getting a null matrix of order 2 by 2. If any one of the choice goes out, so we say D cannot be the answer. But if one choice is correct, then we have to check at least one other choice so that to be sure enough that D is answer or not, because it's a multiple choice questions. So it says A 1 0 0 0 and B 0 0 0 1. So let's start the case. We take matrix A as 1 0 0 0. A square means matrix A multiplied by itself. Matrix A multiplied by matrix A. So when we multiply matrix A by matrix A, first row, first column, 1 into 1 is 1, plus 0 into 0 is 0. So 0 plus 1 is 1. First row of A multiplied with second column of again second matrix, 1 into 0 is 0, plus 0 into 0 is 0. It again comes out to be 0. Then 0 into 1 is 0, plus 0 into 0 is 0. What we are doing? We are multiplying second row of first matrix with first column of second matrix. Then second row of second matrix multiplied by second column of second matrix. That is 0 into 0 plus 0 into 0. So matrix comes out to be 1 0 0 0. That's we are getting the value of A square. In two option on right hand side we have A square plus B square. So we desperately required value of B square also. This is how do we calculate the value of A square. Let's try for B. B is 0 0 0 1. So B square, we have to multiply matrix B by matrix B. Are they compatible for multiplication? Yes. Number of columns of First matrix is 2 and number of rows of second matrix is also 2. So you multiply, as we do multiplication, first row multiplied with first column to get first element, first row, first column. That's 0 0 multiplied with 0 0, we are also getting 0. Similarly, first row, second column, but first row is 0 0, when multiplied with any elements gives us 0. Second row, first column, 0 1 multiplied by 0 0 gives us 0. Second row, second column, 0 1 multiplied by 0 1 gives us 1. So we get a square also, we get b square also. Now just to check our choices, we also try to find what is a plus b. A and b are given in the question. So a plus b is 1 0 0 1. That's identity matrix, and a minus b is 1 0 0 minus 1. That straight away can be written. Now if we need to check these choices, we have to do a plus b whole square, that is multiplied a plus b by a plus b, and then check whether it is equal to a square plus b square or not. So let's say a plus b whole square, identity multiplied by identity gives us identity. You can check it also. A plus b is 1 0 0 1, 2 by 2 matrix, which is identity matrix. When multiplied by identity, it will, anytime it multiply by identity gives identity only. A plus b whole square is also 1 0 0 1. And a plus b ka whole square we got. A square plus b square, individually we have values of a square plus b square. So let's add. A square plus b square, when you add these two values, it also gives a square plus b square, 1 0 0 0 plus 0 0 0 1 gives again an identity matrix. So both these are same. So we can safely say a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square in context of this question. This option A is perfectly correct. So should we mark the answer option A, or we should check once more? Ideally, since all of the above is there, we have to check one more option. So we know A minus B matrix. So let's do A minus B whole square. That is multiply A minus B matrix by itself. So when you multiply first row, first column, we get first element, first row, second column, second element, and so on. Second row, first column, second row, second column. So you get A minus B ka whole square, again 1 0 0 1, which is again as A square plus B square. We have calculated this before. So this shows that a minus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square. On checking third option, BA, when you multiply B matrix with A matrix, you get a null matrix. That is also true. So just to be sure enough, we check third also. So option A is correct, option B is correct, option C is correct. So we have to mark choice D. Choice D says all are correct. All options are correct in this case. I hope this is correct. This is true. Sure. In examination, if all of the above is there and you get one choice as correct and other choice as wrong, there is no need to check the third one. If you got one choice as correct and second also correct, then still there is no need to check the third one, because all of the above is given. You straight away can mark by checking at least two. But just for safe surety, we check third choice also. I hope this is clear. This is perfectly clear. Moving to question, all three options are true, so hence we should mark choice as choice D. Now again, this is 1711. Now we are using 1921 handout. Question number 8. Now it says a matrix A is given. This is 1301, and we have to find A to the power 10. A to the power 10, as the name suggests, you have to multiply A matrix 10 times. Or some other form, but then you get the resultant. So this is not possible to multiply 10 times, so we try to generalize a pattern. If it easier to figure out the pattern, that becomes easier for us. But before finding a pattern, just look at the choices. Choices: first row, second column. First option is 30, second option is 3 ki power 10, third option is 3, and fourth option it is 30. Let's try to form a pattern. If you carefully look, choice B, C, D, three elements are by default same, 1 0 1. Only first row, second column element is changing. So we'll try to figure out a pattern. So matrix A is given as 1 3 0 1. So let's multiply matrix A by matrix A. This is A to the power 1. A square. A square means A multiplied by A. So when you multiply A matrix by A matrix, first row, first column, 1 into 1 plus 3 into 0. This gives 1. 1 into 3 plus 3 into 1. 3 plus 3 becomes 6. 0 into 1 plus 1 into 0 becomes 0. Second row, first column. Second row, second column. 0 into 3 plus 1 into 1 is 1. So we get the result as 1, 3 plus 3, 0 and 0 plus 1. We have done twice multiplication. Question is asking for 10 times. So just it's 1601. We just to try to match an option, we tried with 1. 6 can be written as 3 into 2. It cannot be written as 3 cube power 2. So choice B goes out. And rest is 101. Let's do A cube. A cube is 3 times multiplication, that is A square multiplied by A. A square multiplied by A. A square we know it's 1601. A we also know 1301. So let's try to multiply this. 1 into 1 is 1 plus 6 into 0 is 0. It gives us 1. 1 into 3 is 3 plus 6 into 1 is 6. 3 plus 6 becomes 9. 0 into 1 is 0 plus 1 into 0 is 0. 0 into 3 is 0 plus 1 into 1 is 1. If we carefully observe, it comes out to be 1901. 1901 safely says us 1901 is 9 can be written as 3 into 3. Now it's A cube, 3 into 3. A square, 3 into 2. When A multiplied twice. When A is to the power 1, it's 3 into 1. A pattern is somewhere, it's visible. Let's do one more step to be more sure. You go for A4. A4 is A square into A square. Or it can be A cube into A also. A square into A square, 1601, 1601. When you multiply, it comes out to be 11201. As we do multiplication, first row, first column, first row, second column, and so on. Now 12 can be written as 3 into 4. Because 101 are by default coming out to be the same. So somewhere when power is 4, so 3 into 4. When A to the power 3, then first row, second column element is 3 into 3. When A to the power 2, then first row second element is 3 into 2, and A to the power 1, 3 into 1. And rest 3 elements are 101. So if we generalize this pattern and we move further, so we can simply say it comes out to be A to the power 10 is nothing but 101 will by default be there, as there in others. It's 3 into 10. Now what is 3 into 10? 3 into 10 is 30. And if we carefully look at the choices, we get one of the choices clearly marked out. That's as our answer. So in this type of question, we try to figure out a pattern. If pattern is possible, it becomes easier to find it out. B option we straight away ruled out, and when we are getting 101 straight away, then we can, and values is changing, C option also goes out, only one option was left. We can also take a risk, we can mark option as D. But it's better to take one step further to be sure enough than marking a wrong option. So in this way, I hope this is clear. So it's 1 to 2 lines at least you are supposed to write, and then you multiply and get your results for sure. I hope this is clear, everyone. Now choice is D. Just what we learn in this class, types of matrices we learn, then we do addition of matrices and multiplication of matrices. So these are 3 segments which you are going to learn in this class. Now these both the handouts are bring back for the next class. We'll be solving the maximum question from the remaining one, which are the left one, in the next hour, and doing the next segments in the next class. I hope this is clear. So complete your assignments and complete this question once again before coming for the next class. Clear? Thank you. Thanks.